Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Zach and JR here with Extreme Outfitters. We finally got our new 2025 Xpedition Archery XLite 32 in, so this is exciting. This bow actually won Best Bow of the Year and first place in new product launch at the 2025 ATA show. So lots of good things happening at Xpedition Archery this year. So we're gonna do what we normally do, go over some specs, talk about the new features of the bow, and then we're gonna do some testing for you guys. So we're gonna check the overall weight of this bow, we're gonna look at the draw cycle, we're gonna check the valley, the grip, the post-shot feel, and then of course we're gonna do a speed test. We're gonna test this bow at 70 pounds at both 28 and 30 inches of draw weight. Nope.
Draw length.
Draw length with a 450 and 550 grain arrow. So
540 grain.
540, 550 grains within that wheelhouse. Thanks, JR.
You're welcome.
So, always there to correct me. So this is exciting, right? Expedition's a brand new line for us this year. We've added to our extensive line of bows, and I was really excited about it. We shot them, and the bow shot really well. And we booked these 32s. I think they were supposed to drop a little earlier than what they did, I believe in December, but we just finally got ours in. We shot them a little bit, and it's been fantastic, right? It really fills that gap with the XLite series. They have a huge ATA length option. They've got their 29, 31, now 32, 33, and 35-inch length ATA options. So a bow for everybody. So the thing that makes the Xpedition bows, especially the XLite series, unique is the material they're made out of. So they're made out of what's called a Magnite material. And we've talked about it before, but it's really in between that aluminum and carbon option. It really gives you, it's that in-between price point.
Correct, yeah, it's a little bit better of a material to work with, and they're saying it's more stable and easier to work with almost than carbon. So you can get those tolerances a lot tighter than you can on some of those carbon platforms.
Right, and that's one of the big selling features of it, right? The tolerances that come along with it. And then again, it's a little bit lighter option.
Yes.
Stronger, quieter. There's a lot of good things that go into the Magnite material from what we've seen and what we've been told. But getting into the specs of this bow, JR, what are we looking at with the new 32?
Yep, so this has an IBO rating of 342 feet per second. The axle length is 32 inches. The brace height, we're looking at 6 inches. The overall weight of the bow is coming in at 3.8 pounds. You can get draw weights from 50, 60, 65, 70, or 80 pounds. And the let-off is at 80%. Draw length ranges from 25 to 30.5.
Yes, and those have half-inch increment adjustments for draw length. So it's a really good size bow. We've talked about it a lot. A 32-inch axle-to-axle bow is really a great do-it-all bow.
It really is. Whether you're going to be East Coast, hunting, going out west, it's going to be a bow that you can use anywhere.
Absolutely, and with tack season here, it's going to be a great option for tack. Yep. I think for those really long distance shots, it's a really stable platform for what we've seen, and there's a lot of customizations that can be done with this bow. So they've got some new features. They've got their more ergonomic grip design. They've got both a 17 and 19 degree options, so you can really play with your grip to fine tune it based off the fit and feel for you. They've got their new pick sight mount. So everybody's gone to that, pick sights or the dovetail options. I personally really enjoy the pick mounted sights. I ran one on a couple of my bows and have been very happy with it. So they've integrated that with the XLite 32 as well. They've also got, like all the other bows, the integrated rest option, so you can integrate that rest to the rear of the riser, so you get that nice low profile fit. And then for the guys that want to run the traditional rest, they've got the 2 burger holes to really secure that rest on the side of that riser.
Correct. Yep.
From there, they've got their triangle mounting holes for 1- and 2-piece quivers. And then one of the other things that we noticed is they redesigned their dampeners on the bow.
Yeah, so that's these little doinkers back here. They have redesigned those. They're also now a finish color instead of being that nickel plated, and you can actually adjust the weight on those if you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of good stuff. They've got their they've got their upper and lower stabilizer mounting holes as well as a rear stabilizer mounting hole, so you can really, again, customize the feel of that bow at full draw while playing with all your different bar lengths options, both front and rear bars.
Correct.
So again, jumping back to the material that this bow is made out of, Magnite, there's a lot of talk about it. And I don't know that there's a lot of information on it. It's new to us this year, so we don't have a lot of experience with it, but we've heard a lot of really great things about it, and that's what really intrigued us to bring it into our shop.
Correct.
So again, when you look at it, it's supposed to be 30% lighter than your standard 6061 aluminum and then stronger than carbon, right? And along with that comes vibration dampening. So it's supposedly 20% more vibration dampening than your commercial grade carbon and 3 times more vibration dampening than your standard 6061 aluminum. So it's just a great addition. Like I said, it really bridges that gap between aluminum and carbon. It's a different look, it's a different feel. I mean, from the shot, the overall feel of the bow, it's unique.
It is. Yep. And it's also a material that's been trusted and used in the defense and aerospace industry.
So there's a lot of technology and science behind the actual design. From there, they've got their XB32 dual cam system. So this, again, it's a cam system that requires mods. So this is optimized for the different draw lengths. You've got a 2-mod system,
correct,
right? So you've got your shorter draw lengths.
Yep. And then a longer draw, which is, the longer draw only does 1 inch, so it's going to be the top inch of that draw cycle.
Right.
Draw length.
And then one of the things with these bows and these cam system is you'll notice the back wall on these is incredibly solid. Once you get the full draw and it rolls over and it locks out, there is absolutely no play in the back wall on these.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, I have not even shot this bow yet. I have shot the 29 and 31, but I have not shot the 32 yet.
Well,
so
you're in for a surprise.
very excited for it.
Yeah, and again, they've got their Cerakoted cams, which again just kind of completes the finish and the look of the bow and helps protect them a little further.
Right.
This is their Sniper Gray. Was that the color option?
I believe it's what it's called, yes.
Very, very clean looking. I like the grays a lot, earth tones. I think it's sharp. The finish looks really, really clean on this bow.
It does. And they do a really good job. They have a bunch of different options. You can customize it completely, and also with the string system that comes with it too. It's a really good setup and a really good shooting bow.
It is. That's one of the things we kind of missed right there is the strings, right? So your XLite series, they all come with your ABB strings. So right out of the gate, you get a really great bow with a very high-end string. So you're not looking at replacing strings right out of the gate like you are with some of these bows that don't tend to stay in time as well. They seem to stretch a little bit more. Right. You get a really great string right out of the gate with this bow.
Yeah, and the 2-year warranty you come with, which I mean, that's pretty much giving you the lifespan of a set of strings is expected for about 2 years.
Yeah, so a lot of good things whenever you buy into this bow. And it's, again, in between that carbon and aluminum price point and with the strings, I mean,
it's kind of a no-brainer right there in my opinion.
I agree. You know, it's a really, really great buy. So we're going to go ahead and get into this bow. We're going to start with our testing. So what we're going to start with is we're going to get an overall weight of this bow. And behind us, we've got our scale. I'll let JR do the honors. Okay. So this bow bear is supposed to come right at 3.8 pounds. We've got a Whisker Biscuit style rest on here that we're going to be using. Let's see what the overall weight is.
I have 4.3 pounds.
So 4.3 pounds. So a little bit higher than what they advertised, but I'm assuming that is not with...
It's probably without the little stabilizer on there, probably, you know, obviously without a rest, so.
Yeah, so close.
So very close.
4.3 pounds, which isn't bad for especially a 32-inch bow.
No, not at all. Feels like nothing.
Yeah, very light. It's different feeling, just the material. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, it's unique. So we're gonna go ahead and let JR, I guess he'll draw it back first. It's already set up at 28 inches, but we'll let him get, you know, the first feel of it, what he thinks about the draw cycle. And the back wall.
We can do weight?
Yeah, let's check the weight while we're at it.
Okay. That is extremely smooth. And yeah, that back wall is solid.
Yeah, you can pull on it hard, man.
So I got 70.7. I was pulling hard, so it was holding 21.6. So I was yanking into it. Let me draw it back one more time just to get a better feel for that holding weight. Yeah, that is very solid. I got 10.8 for the holding weight.
Perfect.
So that'd be very close to that 80%.
Right on the money as advertised. So 70 pounds. We have noticed with these bows when we get them, they come in a little bit hot. We've had our 70-pound bows come in anywhere from 72 to 76 pounds. So we wanted to make sure that whenever we do the testing for you guys today, that it is as close to 70 pounds as we can get. So it's right there, 70.7 pounds. I think that's right on the money. So if you want, JR, go ahead and get a couple. You want me to shoot it first?
I'll have you shoot it 28.
Okay. I'll shoot it first since it's at 28 inches. And then we'll go over and we'll talk kind of about the draw cycle, the valley of the bow.
Yeah, first impression though, even just drawing it back with the hand skill, it was very smooth. I didn't feel any rollover or dump, anything drastic on it. And then the back wall on it was super solid. Like I said, I was pulling on that thing pretty good. And then even just letting it down, it didn't want to, it wasn't locked back.
Right.
But you could let up a little bit before it wants to dump on you. So I feel like it's a really good draw cycle. I'm excited to see what speeds we're going to get out of it.
Yeah, that's one of the things, right? With some of the bows, when the valley is so forgiving, it's kind of hard to, if you're in a position where you're hunting, to let that bow down smoothly without running forward with it. Right. So that is one of the things I like about it. The other cool thing that Xpedition does, they make it very user-friendly. So whenever you change your draw length, right, you can, again, it doesn't require press, but you also have these indicators on your actual limbs that tell you exactly what each letter corresponds to as far as draw length. Correct. So you don't got to go running around doing research trying to find out what draw length is what.
Or scan our QR code or something.
Yeah, it's very simple. But one of the things you do need to remember whenever you do change your draw length is you need to change your stops. They need to correspond to the actual letter or number that are on the draw mods.
Correct.
So I'm gonna trade you spots real quick.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Yeah, again, I mean, all of their bows have been incredibly smooth from beginning to end. There's not a massive hump. Very, very easy to let down. I do like the valley on this bow. It's, like I said, it doesn't roll over and dump, and then you can relax a little bit. But you still, I think you have to stay on the back wall. You can't relax too much on it. So it's not quite as forgiving as some of the bows, but I do like how easy it is to let down. So, get a shot through this thing. I mean, it shoots fantastic. There is a tiny little bit of vibration in the bow. But I think it's minimal. Yeah, it's just a good feeling bow. I really, really enjoy the draw cycle of all of the XLites that I've shot so far. And I think the XLite 32 in particular, just with that axle to axle length, for me, it just feels really, really consistent from beginning to end. And like we talked about, there's not that massive dump. It doesn't roll over and dump off on you. And the valley, I think you have to stay on it a little bit more. You can't quite relax as much as you can on some of the bows.
Correct.
But it's at the same time, it's not ready to run away right away, right? So I think it's a good in-between, and especially as a hunting bow, you know, where you need to let the bow down, it's a great option. Feels really, really good. And then from there, the grip. I've always been a fan of this style grip.
I have too, like especially shooting PSCs a lot. A lot of times either I'm shooting it right off the shelf, or right off the grip, or I'm adding that side plate on there, that back plate.
Right. Yeah, I like it. I've always been a fan of just how low profile it is. They fit my hand really, really well, and it doesn't want to roll. So like at full draw, when I look up at my string in my cam, the bow doesn't naturally want to torque for me where I feel like I've got to correct it.
Yep.
I can look up and everything's in line. What do you think? Put it through the chronograph, see what it's shooting at 28 inches, and then kind of let you go through it and see what your thoughts are on it. All right, so we're gonna start a speed test. Again, this is the XLite 32 at 70 pounds. This is that 540, 550 grain arrow at 28 inches. JR's downrange to catch the arrows.
I got it.
He's not really. So let's see, first shot. .247. Shot 2. .245. And final shot. .244. All right, so we've got an average of like 245 right there with that 550-ish grain arrow at 28 inches. So now we're gonna go to this 450 grain arrow, so 100 grains lighter, again at 28 inches, and see what our speeds look like. Shot 1. .265. Shot 2. .271. Shot 3. .266. So at 28 inches, with 100 grain arrow difference, we're getting right about 20 feet per second difference.
Yeah.
So pretty close. So what we're gonna do now, let JR get behind it. He's gonna shoot it at 30 inches, see what speeds we get out of it at that same 550, 450 grain arrow. See what the speed difference is. I know IBO is advertised at
342.
342, so.
We'll see what we get.
Yeah.
All right, guys, got to change over to 30 inches, 70 pounds with a 540 grain arrow. Let's get this first shot. Shot number 1, I got 270. Shot number 2. $258. Big difference right there. Shot number 3. $260. Quite a few differences right there, but right around 265 would be, or 263 would probably be about the average right there. All right, now we're on to the 450 grain arrow, 30 inches, 70 pounds. First shot, 280. Second shot, 450 grain arrow, 70 pounds, 30 inches. Got 288.8. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's good speed. All right, third shot. $281.4. So give us an average around 280-ish. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? First impressions?
I really enjoyed the bow. It's a really comfortable, really good shooting bow. Is it the fastest thing in the world? No, but speed doesn't matter.
Speed does kind of matter though. It's one aspect. It's not the end all be all, but I'll agree with you, right? I think people put too much emphasis on speed alone. So that's why, you know, when we're doing some of our testing, we're kind of evolving with our videos. We're testing other aspects of the bows themselves, right? The feel, the grip, the valley, all of these different things in conjunction with the speed. So I personally really enjoy shooting the bow. 28 inches, I would probably run a little bit lighter arrow personally, just to get a little bit more speed out of the bow. But overall feel, I really enjoy it. I really like the grip on it. I like how it's squared off. I like how it fits in my hand. It's very repeatable. And then again, whenever at full draw, the bow doesn't torque on me like some of the other bows do. So I really enjoy that. I can look up, my string and cam are in line. It shoots good.
Correct. I agree 100% as well. I didn't notice anything torquey either. The draw cycle is phenomenal. It's very smooth. To me, it feels a lot like the EC2 cam from PSE. That's a very good shooting cam as well.
It does. I think for me, there's a little bit even less dump though on the back side of it. It's very consistent beginning to end when you look at the draw cycle on this bow. And then whenever it rolls over and locks out, there's no play in that thing.
I think this bow is one of the most solid back walls out of any of the bows for 2025 that I've shot.
I would agree. I can see why it's, you know, they've nominated it for 2025 Bow of the Year at ATA, and then again with the winning the first place in Product of the Year. Yep. There's a lot of great features with it. It's a new material. It's a good overall ATA length to do just about anything you want. You know, hunting, tack, like we're talking about tack seasons here. We're going to be probably at Tennessee and PA this year. So we're excited about that. But again, man, I think Xpedition did a fantastic job. And if you have the ability, go shoot the bow.
Exactly.
Or any of the bows that they've got. I mean, 29s, 31s, 32s, 33s, 35s, something for everybody.
There is. And another nice thing is too, we can sell them online.
That's right. So if you're interested in this bow, head over to our website. It'll be up there for sale. Get you a new 32. We can even set it up and build it out for you if you like. Looking for a custom bow build? We can do it. Head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com, for all of your archery needs. JR, what else you got? Anything else exciting happening?
We have a lot of stuff in the works for the company, so definitely stay tuned for that. We also have our 3D events that are kicking off. We have our first one on February 8th, so if you're local, come down, check us out.
Yes, we've got, I think, one a month running through June. So we've got trying to keep the archery thing alive here in Eastern North Carolina. So if you do enjoy shooting postseason, we put on, I think, a pretty good 3D event. It's challenging, it's fun, it's local. So, as always, we really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching our videos. As always, we ask you guys, drop us some comments. Let us know what your thoughts are on the new Xpedition XLite 32 and honestly, any of the Xpedition bows. I think they're going to be a big hit this year.
I do too.
Cool. As always,
Excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. Appreciate you guys watching.